How existential densities work in space. Hello my friends, welcome to my channel. I am Mari Swaruu. This is an important subject to be able to understand the ones that are coming next, and although some of this has been mentioned or explained before in other videos, I must take what you already know and use it to describe the complications and effects of living in deep space. We don't live in an existential realm, we are the existential realm itself, and the experience of living in it is only an illusion, as it is a mirror of who we are. The way we interpret potential energy depends on our consciousness, what we know, the knowledge we hold, and the value we give each thing, what it means to us. No two circumstances or situations are interpreted the same way by two or more people, and the very idea of the very object that is to be interpreted is also an illusion, as it is nothing but potential energy. There is no matter as such, it is only an experience, as it is only energy displayed as electric polarities attracting and rejecting others, in a field of potential energy vibrating at a very high frequency, and that field is the ether. In other words, the only thing that exists is mind and consciousness, from where everything else is created, manifested or spawned into an experiential existence, which is only another set of thoughts and ideas inside whoever holds consciousness and awareness. The value and the meaning that is given to something depends on who is the observer, who will only be able to give value and meaning to that something, through its own understanding of reality, through its particular needs and wants, that is, through the subject's identity frame. A chair is something to sit on for a human, a bed for a cat, a house for a spider, a mountain for an ant, and lunch for a termite. When two or more subjects with a consciousness hold similar enough sets of ideas and interpretations, it is said that they have agreements of perception, that although similar, will never be exactly the same, but similar enough to share a common collectively manifested existential realm. An example of a collectively manifested existential realm is the matrix on Earth. Most of its ideas and core concepts that make it up only have value while on Earth, and not elsewhere. An example of this is terrestrial science's cosmology, how it explains the universe with its string theories, big bangs that never happened, and self-corroborating, self-sustaining mathematical models and creations that do not reflect the external reality. As it happens with Earth, each inhabited planet has its own matrix, its own set of agreements of perception, which create the external world the inhabitants will interpret as their reality. There is one planetary matrix system, with its own set of frequencies and range of vibrations, for every planet, and of course, groups of planets, inhabited or not, will also have similar existential frequency ranges, as they too form a reality manifesting collective. When one person, a Lyrian for example, lives on one or another specific planet, inside its matrix realm, it will hold a very similar frequency and vibration to the planet's average. That individual will be conditioned, or trained to see and interpret reality, with the ideas and values it learned from that planet's collective unconscious matrix. When that individual is removed from its home planet, through space travel, the individual will carry along the way he or she sees and interprets reality. The traveling individuals will take their own matrix with them, wherever they may go, because that is who they are. The space-traveling ant will only see mountains, and not chairs, as the space-traveling cat will only see beds, and not chairs, and so on. When you are traveling through space, you are outside the collective unconscious matrix system you grew up in, and from where you took all your ideas and values. This means that you and your crew members have created their own collective matrix existential realm inside your ship, and if you are traveling alone, then it is you who is creating your own collective unconscious, based on the larger one you grew up in, yes, but it is still your very own. Space in itself is neutral, it is only potential etheric energy apparently in a vacuum, unlike an enclosed planetary system, and there, all collective unconscious is very weak, and diluted at best, not influencing the space-traveling individuals much. On Earth, the limits between the world of the living and the lower astral realms are quite clear, at least in practical experience, being that the world of the living is whatever can be perceived and experienced through the living biological body's 5 or 6 senses, as a basic description. In deep space, there is no collective unconscious, no greater collective agreements, as planets do have. The very planet is the one which is containing and modulating its inhabitants' existential realm matrix, through its magnetosphere, keeping its inhabitants inside a confined existential frequency and vibration realm. Planets hold the average frequency and vibration of their inhabitants' collective unconscious, their matrix, enclosing them in an electromagnetic cocoon which imposes the principle of dominant frequency onto everyone inside, effectively equalizing and modulating the perception range its inhabitants can be aware of. But in outer space, there is no such thing as a planetary modulated frequency that keeps the perception and the existential frequency and vibration of any person within a controlled range. It is as if all existential realms, the world of the living, the higher astral and the lower astral were all mixed and intermeshed into one chaotic and non-modulated existential mass. They become one single realm. This causes each deep space traveling individual to manifest who they are. Each individual's fears and thoughts may become real almost immediately, as well as the individual's dreams and positive things. Reality as such depends on the individual, as its own self-contained existential realm, and not on any rules the collective unconscious of one or another planet dictates on him or her. The responsibility of what he or she manifests and spawns into reality is on the individual itself. Whatever a spaceship's crew experiences during space travel depends on their vibration more than ever. Whether they are compatible with terrible nightmares or encountering beautiful enlightened beings depends on them alone, the crew, their mentality, their thoughts and ideas. This complicated subject I just shared with you is important to understand why so many people cannot agree with one another when talking about what happens in space. Many other authors state that there is good and evil everywhere, and that there are dangerous regressive races lurking in the shadows on distant planets, as well as elaborate space invaders who are plotting to invade peaceful civilizations with hostile takeovers, while others state that the chaos is on Earth, contained there, and everything elsewhere is peaceful and high vibration. It is neither one nor the other, as it all depends on who is experiencing reality as a reflection of who they are. As happens also on Earth, it all depends on whether a person is or is not a vibration compatibility with one or another event, thing or circumstance. The law of mirrors is much stronger and non-modulated when in deep space. You experience there who you truly are as your deepest unconscious manifests onto you, in a timeless way. You need even more self-knowledge and self-control to modulate what you are manifesting into your experience, than what you need on Earth, or on any other planet, as its self-contained frequency helps modulate yours. The good thing is that if your personality is even, and you are sure of yourself, being able to maintain and sustain your personal frame, that in itself acts as a modulatory system for what you manifest, and you don't even need to place so much attention on this once you understand what is going on while space traveling. This is why in space and expecting to see strange things, it is as if you suddenly could perceive and experience all astral realms, as well as the physical world, all thrown together in one single existential perception range. That is exactly what is happening, as there is no astral, and no material world there in deep space, as it just is, and it is a perceived nothingness, ethers and potential energy, from where our deepest unconscious is manifested, directly in front of us, with no collective unconscious modulation setting limits, by restricting ideas and imposing what is possible and what is not. The only limits there are our minds and our self-control. It is very easy to lose your mind in deep space, as you can spiral negatively into complete destruction, nightmare after nightmare reinforcing each other, causing the individual only to see the negative that is in front of him or her, making it inconceivable and impossible in the person's thoughts to jump from those terrible things to a beautiful creation full of peace, joy and fulfillment, which is equally easy to manifest as the nightmares. Deep space is a dangerous place where you are confronted with who you truly are, with your deepest unconscious. Most people will do anything to avoid confronting themselves, as they have spent entire lifetimes hiding from the ugly things that define their personality, as they have spent all their lives burying what they don't like about themselves into their unconscious. And as Carl Jung said, whatever you do not face and resolve in your unconscious will manifest in your life as fate. This couldn't be more truthful in deep space, as that is exactly what happens there. All that you repressed in your unconscious will manifest as your reality, openly and bluntly, even with cruelty, as you do not have the dampening effect of a planetary matrix. In other words, in deep space, you cannot hide from yourself. Thank you for watching my video. I know it may be a difficult one to process. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I appreciate it a lot. And I hope to see you here next time. With much love, your friend, Mari Swaruu.